welcome, welcome to NWA Power, episode 37, baby. I want to apologize that this is so late. Admittedly, I have not been myself. I actually wasn't feeling very well. I actually had my allergies have really been messing with me, which messed up my stomach because I got nasal drip that goes in my stomach and makes it get upset. But admittedly, also my depression was messing with me a little bit because I've been trying to do some stuff and it kind of got like a block. You know when if you're someone who does novels or does some type of creative stuff, sometimes you get like a writer's block or something, and that's what I kind of got right now. And it made me a little depressed. And then with the nasal drip going in my stomach and making me feel sick, it made it worse. So I wish to apologize for that. I'm sorry. But one other thing. If you feel depressed a little bit, it's hard to get out of it. One thing is, at least for me, try to go walk, see some friends, and buy some stuff. Now, I bought this shirt. It's a cool shirt. And I don't think you can read it from here because it's in reverse. But if you could read in reverse, you could see it. Now, I wish to do a public service announcement before I do the power. I'm sorry, guys, but I got to do this because I noticed this. I don't know if anyone else is ever going to get this type of shirt. Here. This is the style of shirt I got. NASA, it's here. NASA really looks nice. You got one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. 2 years before I was born, that happened. Now, it looks cool. It looks great, but the texture of the print that's on the shirt feels rubbery and it feels sticky when you rub up against it. I've gotten this shirt. I actually washed it today because I'm going to wash my laundry. One of the things I had to do today. I washed my laundry. It's clean. It's not like it ran or anything, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If you get this style of shirt, that's from NASA, if you ever find it, and it's really cool with a great picture on it, and kind of has like a weird rubbery texture on it, think carefully, because it's great. There's no problem with it until you put your hand on it and it feels kind of sticky. That is how the texture feels. Doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't stick to your hands. You can see my hands are clean. It doesn't stick to you. But there's a good chance this will break down in time. And if it doesn't break down after you wash it, if you're like me, who is dumb enough to forget not to put it for the dryer, and understand, this is sticky even when it's not washed and dried. When I had it, it felt sticky as it was. After it is really sticky. So if you get this style of shirt, and it looks cool, and it has a weird texture that when you touch it, it feels kind of sticky, don't put it for the dryer. I know many people would say, dude, of course. But if you're not thinking about it, if you're trying to rush to get your laundry done, write it down beforehand, because if you forget, like I did as a bonehead, it's stuck to the plastic bag that I usually get to bag my stuff. So there's your public service announcement. You're welcome. Here we go. This is the last of the Champion Series round 1. Now we had, what is the girl's name? Kenzie Paige versus Lady Frost. Now, this felt like the shortest match of the entire thing. Honestly, it did feel very short. Now, was it a bad match? No. Now, Lady Frost is currently working for... Who was Lady Frost working for? She was working for Aaron Stevens and D. Terrence Terrell. And you get Paige working for Camille and D. Austin. I don't have to look at my notes because, like I said, there's a lot going on. You can easily forget and get confused. Now, here is the thing that many people would say, why did she do that? Now, was the match good? Yes, it was. Lady Frost is easily much more refined than a Paige. She just is. Paige, I think, is 18 years old. She's still very young in the business. She hasn't been doing it for a long time. I think she's only been doing it for a year or two. So you can see the stark difference between the styles. Lady Frost, she must have been a very good gymnast when she was younger. Because at one point, She, instead of just driving her shoulder into Paige's stomach when she was in the corner, she literally jumped up. I think I will do this one shot of her because I'm not doing shots much, but I will do this one shot of her literally vertical into her gut, just floating there. She is a very good, smooth gymnast. I've seen wrestlers who have been former gymnasts over the years, or did do some gymnastics when they were doing it, or like with Xavier Woods, who worked in doing cheerleading, where they did have some gymnastic background. But I think she might have been a pure gymnast at one time, but she loved wrestling. She is very fluid. But then once she does the moonsault off the top turnbuckle, once she gave Kenzie a good spinning kick, she pulls her up, and she pretty much loses the match because instead of just pinning her ass, she wanted to show off and tell the ref, look, I will pin her when I'm ready. I was not ready yet. And then she gets rolled up, and that's the end of it. And her team that was outside that wanted her to pin her was pissed afterward. I don't know why they went there. Why was she acting that? Why she was acting that brash? I always thought, from what I could tell of Lady Frost being an Impact a few times, being an NWA now mainly at the moment, that she was more smarter than that. And she didn't act smart. She acted like a damn dumbass. That didn't look good. Of course, we don't see a character from her yet. We haven't even heard from her much yet, or at all. So it's very little we know about the woman. But from what I can tell, she seemed to be well accomplished. And that was just dumb. And it felt like the shortest match. Next, we had a fatal 4-way. Now, I'm skipping around. We got a fatal 4-way. This was number 3 of the 4 matches that were on the show. There was no character development, nothing. This was just straight up matches. You got Monaro. You got Plunkett. You had Corgan Coroyo. I think that's his name. And you had, who was the last person there? We had Clearwater. Now, this was it's an alternate match with alternate wrestlers. These alternate wrestlers, if one of them won, they get 7 points for the team. Unlike what was here, the first match, which was 5. You get 7 points for your team. But the one who ate the pin in any way or submitted, they lose 3 points for their team. So, I'll say this, it wasn't a bad match. But because you're going to have to wrap your head around who is from what team, because Plunkett was from Nick and Melina's team. But it's kind of hard to remember that because there's 8 people on all 4 teams, and you got to remember the 2 people for each team. And admittedly, I got a little confused a couple of times trying to remember, okay, who it was, and I had to write it down and I had to refer to my notes saying, oh, Plunkett is from Nick and Melina's team, because there was no way to remember. Now, the one who ate the pin, because Plunkett won, the one who ate the pin, who was it? Was Kobe Kororo. I believe that's his name. He was a bitch. Now, I understand that Kobe's dad used to work for the NWA. He used to be a wrestler for it. I don't know if he won a championship, but he used to wrestle for the NWA, and he was considered 11. You know the reason why, Botch? Is because I don't know why they gave him this character, or he wanted this character of being a bitch. I can understand he wants to be brash. I understand that he wants to be like, I'm entitled because I am royalty. My dad is a legend. I am here to make a mark. But why does he have to be like a coward? Why he has to be like a chicken shit? Why does he have to be like a bitch? In certain parts of the match, he acted like a bitch, saying, no. He was standing right there, and he backed up into Clearwater, who, was bigger than him, and he gets onto his hands and knees and goes, no, please don't. Why? I don't know if Billy did that, or this is his idea of his character. I don't like it. I'd rather see heels. Yes, he's a small ass heel, but at least he has a reason to act like he got a chip on his shoulder. He's got to prove that he's just as good as his dad or better. He's got to measure up. You see, I'm angry. He's got to measure up to his father, and I just don't agree with it. And he ate the pin, and it was Velvet and the Pope who lost 3 points. Now, the match that I felt was the best match, Crimson versus the Mystery Man. And Mystery Man was on, what was the Mystery Man? Mystery Man was on, who was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, the Mystery Man was on Pope and Velvet's team. They picked him. But then it's Nick and Crimson's team that basically you would think, well, they can't lose. You don't think them losing, but then they can't win because Mystery Man is new and he has some type of secret. And you want to see Nick and Melina go to the next round, but then you want to see the Mystery Man not get beaten either. So the match was actually quite good. I actually liked the match. Seeing that Crimson was trying to take the damn mask off is showing that people really want to know who he is and trying to make it mean something. But here's the thing. They drawed. What? They drawed. It kind of makes sense. But then I don't want to see a draw. I want to see one of them go, but then you don't want both of them go because you don't want to see Nick's team and Melina's team lose, but then you don't want to see the Mystery Man job yet because we still don't know who he is. We don't know who he is. So when it comes down to it, they did a draw, which was the wisest thing, but honestly, not anyone's going to like it. So this is what you got. Next, we got the one match that I felt was way too long. That's Tyrus versus Kratos. Now, Tyrus was on Aaron Stevens' team, and Kratos was on Austin Idol's team. Because the reason I'm talking about that is because Austin Idol was talking. He was not happy that Tyrus, who is his employer, no, not employer, his prospect, is against him. And Aaron Stevens is on the opposite side of his tag team partner, who they just started becoming better of a tag team. And at one point, for some reason, the ref told Aaron Stevens goodbye. He didn't touch Kratos. He didn't try to interfere with Kratos. He was walking just back and forth. But in the end, the ref said, "You're gone. Bye-bye, Aaron." And I'm going, why? He didn't touch the ref. He didn't touch the ring. He just walked back and forth, and Kratos was just looking at him. So it was like, that didn't make any sense. But here's the thing. This match at first was good. You got two big guys trying to go at each other. But then after a certain amount of time, just around the time when Aaron Stevens was ejected, it was too long. It should have ended. It should have ended. And then they move on to the last match of the show. It should have ended within about less than 8 to 10 minutes. It should have ended. But it dragged on to almost maybe 14 minutes, maybe 13 minutes. I'm not even sure how long it was, but it was the longest match of the show. And I don't know why they went there with it. They should have ended it. In the end, there was some type of weirdness at the end of the match where they didn't know who won. Because I think Kratos was supposed to kick out to make it last a little longer. But he got squashed by Tyrus. And Tyrus won. And it felt so awkward and too long. Look, as I said before, I don't hate Tyrus. But Tyrus can't go in the ring anymore. He needs to really improve himself. Look, I'm 50. I know I got a little bit of a belly. Even though I eat mainly vegetarian, I still eat eggs when I want, or milk, or butter or something. I try to keep myself at least decently in shape, even with a bad leg. But Tyrus, he needs to go and get himself in shape. I know the guy's near my age. He's in his late 30s, early 40s easily. But he can get in some better shape than he is right now because he needs it badly. He gets... It was just bad. I'm telling you guys. I think Tyrus tanked too much. And he probably botched up some of that match that made Kratos not kick out. Now, I could be wrong, and you guys tell me below, but this is what I felt. Final match, Slice Boogie, who is from Nick and Melina versus Jax Dean, who was from, Pope and Velvet Sky, I believe. I think he's from Velvet Sky and Pope. Yeah, Sky and Pope. This was a short match. That's how it felt. Slice Boogie looked good. He was acting the proper way a heel supposed to act. He's trying to delay. He's trying to screw around. But he's jagged up. I think the reason I botch is because Slice Boogie is what Cordero. There you go. Cordero should be. Yes, he's a smaller wrestler, but it doesn't mean he can't make it look good. And Slice Boogie is actually better than Cordero is right now. That's just flat out it. And I'm not even a fan of Slice Boogie. I'm not saying I don't like him. He's okay. But if I got to compare the two, and it's not stature. Correro's here. Slice Boogie is here. He's a smaller wrestler. But honestly, Slice Boogie is a better character. He does his character better than Cordero. Maybe Correro's very young in the business. Maybe that. But I just feel Slice Boogie's better. In the end, Jax wins. And now, because Velvet Sky and Pope got the numbers back, this is the stats in the beginning, if I'm right. You got Camille and Austin Idol originally having about 10 points. Nick and Melina 5 points. You got Aaron Stevens and was it 3 or was it 2? Stevens and Terrence Terrell, I believe, is 2. And Pope, as well as Velvet, had 12. By the end of it, going into the next round, which is a final round, you're going to have Camille and Idol at 10. Nick and Melina got 9, so they're eliminated. You got Aaron Stevens and Terrell at 10, and Pope and Velvet at 14. That's what we got. Now, it makes it very interesting where they're going to go with this, because, if Pope and Velvet win, does that mean Velvet may actually go after Camille, counting if she keeps her title and not job to somebody? Does that mean she's coming out of retirement for a little while? That's going to be a question. I don't know. That counts if she wins. But here's the thing, guys. Because what happened with Tyrus and Kratos, I felt there was a missed opportunity. A very missed opportunity. Because they could have done something in the back, having the captains talk to the teams and say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. You can see the teams having some type of cohesion, or you can see the teams having some type of conflict, which could spur on storylines after the Champions series is over. And I feel like that's a missed opportunity, that they didn't do it here in round 1, last part of it, where they could have said after it was over, they do a shot of everyone talking to each other, saying, we got to get this done, we got to do this, and somebody gets angry and somebody's going to start a feud, and the team captains tell them, stop, you can deal with this after the series is over, but you can see them staring at one another. Something like that. That just feels like a missed opportunity. And that's just my point of view, and I hope you enjoyed this NWA Power episode 30, almost said 34, 37. Please give me a comment below. I'm very sorry this is late. I already told you what's been going on. And just remember what I said as a service announcement. If you get this shirt, baby, it looks cool, but hear it. You hear that texture? That texture feels sticky when it's not sticky, but it is sticky. Peace.